Hi there, good evening, everybody. So, just gonna wait for a few people to get on and we'll get started. So, hi there, Nigel. Good evening. Hello, everyone. The Centurion, lovely to see you. Hi, Scott. So, just gonna wait for a few people to get on. How are you all today? What fragrances are you wearing today? I'm curious. What's everyone's scent of the day? What are you wearing? Just gonna wait for a few people to come on. Hey, John. Hey, everyone. Lovely to see you all. So, yes, as you can see, Johnny, as you can see, today we'll be having Tessa Williams join us, and I'm looking forward to this. Sent to Milano. Oh, that sounds nice. I don't think I've won that one, Milano. Right. So, and I see Tessa is in the house. So, yeah, we're just going to wait for a few more people to get on. But let's have Tessa on.
Hi.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you? You look so glam.
Oh, thank you, Mia. You look lovely. Love your top.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. How's your weekend been?
Busy and full of emotions, very busy, but we are here now and we are doing the best we can. So here we are. But it was a busy, and I had such a busy day today as well. So yes, it's been a great day so far. I had to go out and take the kids out, and they met with their school friends for the first time since March. Literally, as they were on bikes, as soon as they could see their friends in front of them, they got off. They just wanted to run. I was like, this better.
They just abandoned the bikes.
Yes,
what did
they
you
really
do?
wanted to.
Oh, that's so great to see their friends, though, because kids really need that now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I don't know if I should even say that when I arranged with the moms, I kind of forgot about it that we were meeting today. I think I got carried away with the weekend. So when I got the phone call, I was like, oh my gosh, luckily we were meeting nearby. Anyway, forget all that.
It was close. You made it.
We did.
Yeah.
It was nearby. So yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So
Great.
lovely. I'm just looking at the chart, seeing who's in the house. We've got
Good.
the
I'm just
Centurion.
going to move 1 sec. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, we've got Russell in the house. We've got Nigel. We've got John. So thank you so much, gents, for joining us. I don't think any of the people watching don't know who Tessa is. I think you all know who Tessa is, don't you? Give us a thumbs up if you do. Or shall we do the introduction again?
Yeah, I got the book.
Oh, fab. I have the book as well. Amazing. I was actually, I'll be honest, I haven't quite sat through reading the book just as yet, but I had a while. And it's a lovely book, and I highly recommend it.
You must please send me a picture like that with you and the book.
I will.
Please.
I will. Yeah. I said to my husband, can you come and take pictures yesterday before I got into my pajamas? It was taking too long, so I was...
Okay. I know. Do you ever sleep? You're so busy.
Absolutely, I will. We are just going to do the introduction because John says no harm to introduce again. Absolutely. It looks school the book. Nigel, this book, it's richly packed with a whole lot of information and all the modern, current, you want to learn a bit of history, there's lots of information here. And I found quite interesting. So Tessa is going to talk us a little bit through the book, but here we
Sure.
are. And
Yeah.
Tessa, please, if you don't mind to just introduce yourself to the audience.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Mia. It's always a pleasure to see you, and thanks for having me on the show. So, I am a author and a journalist, and I've created a range of fragrances called the Elements: fire, earth, air, water. And I also have the thank you, that's fire, and faith, hope, and love. And these perfumes are kind of like my expressions of my feelings of these kind of emotions. And it's taken some time to create them, to get them to the right place and everything. But now I'm at the stage to have had the elements for quite a few years. And then in the last couple of years, faith, hope, and love. And yeah, it's really seems to be an exciting time just now for perfume. I don't know whether it's with the whole effect of lockdown and to do with the fact that people have more time to explore things, but I've had such an interest in the perfumes, which has been great, and also with the book too. So I'm really pleased about that because the book itself was from 2013, so it's quite a few years ago. But that's what really kind of cemented my interest in perfume. But I was always very interested, even as a child, and it was like perfume was the one thing for me when I was at school. My parents was getting divorced. I was one of the few children in the school who was going through this, and even at that early age, I loved perfume. It was kind of like the protecting thing for me. So I've kept this going, and now, so many years later, I've got the book has been a great exploration of all the perfume, and then I have the perfume collection. So it's kind of like if I'm feeling in a particular mood and I need to feel this way, but I do find perfume is a wonderful kind of it gives you a wonderful veil of protection, and that's one of the things I love about it. So yeah. But
wow.
yeah.
Thank you so
How
much,
about
Tessa.
you? Yeah. So the next step really from writing the book, and then first of all, you haven't tried any of the candles as yet, or just the water one. Have you
No,
burned it
not
yet?
all of them, but I have the water here.
Okay. Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's so lovely. But I
Hmm.
was sending another candle and I told myself I need to finish that one. Then I'll get
Yeah.
into it. But it just smells divine. I've literally been coming on and just sniff it a little bit. So
Yeah.
Tessa as well, just mention to the people watching that it's not only fragrances that you've created, you've got
Yes.
other products as well.
Yeah. Yeah. The candles, because I find with being a writer, a lot of the time you're on your own and you need to focus, and you're having a flame is something about it's kind of like having somebody else there, or it just gives you that sense of kind of calm. And then also to have a fragrance with it, I just think it's like the perfect thing. But I do love an open fire, and that was well, you've smelled the fire, the perfume, but
Yes.
also in a candle, it's a great scent, especially for people that would love to have a fire, but they don't, because now it's quite tricky in some parts of the country. You're not allowed to have a fire in the house, so a lot of people do love it for that. And I think it's a wonderful thing to see the flames in it just gives you a kind of inspiration to see.
You mentioned
Yeah.
fire. I just wanted to say I love fire, and I feel like this is for me the more masculine in the collection. It's just
Yes.
gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And for
Oh,
everyone
thank you.
watching, I just wanted to say as well, we've got a special giveaway. So stay tuned. This is gonna be only for the people that are in the house. So stay tuned for
Okay.
that. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Tessa, you touched on that. I was thinking to myself, from the products that you have created, is there one that's more important to you than the other? Such as, for example,
Yeah.
writing your book or having your fragrances, having your candles, like which is your
Mm.
number one baby?
Oh, thank you, Mia. It's a very good question. And sometimes I do kind of wonder, doing all these different things, but I do love them,
Yeah,
equally. I think the thing, although perfume, it does take such a long time also to create, but
yeah,
you can get it out into the world a little bit more easier now than a book, because with
absolutely.
the books that I have published, the Cut Perfumes book, and it took about, well, it maybe took about a year to write, but to be honest, to actually write that book was in my head from, you know when I was a
Yeah.
child.
Oh,
So
wow.
long, 40 odd years it took me to write the book, really. But then it's, yeah, so I think you put your whole life and experience into these things and products. But with the perfume, it's slightly easier, because you kind of, well, for me, I have the idea, whether it be hope, faith, or love, and I want to somehow get that across. And in a way, it's slightly easier than a whole book. But I do love the process of writing, and but then there's a lot more kind of research involved with the books I've written too, and then lots of fact checking and the editors. Whereas with the perfume, it's like, this is what I love, this is what I would love for it to
This
smell
is
like.
what I'm going to add into it.
Yes,
Fantastic. Tessie, thank you so much for that, because that brings me to a question I
yeah,
wanted to ask you. When you were researching for the book,
yeah,
the lots of houses featured in here, I see
yes, yeah,
we've got Roger Dove, we've got all these
yeah.
names, Mason,
He
Francis,
was a character,
John.
Roger.
Yes. I wondered, did you speak to them in person?
Yes, I did. It was amazing. It was funny because I
Wow.
was just thinking, and it was a wonderful meeting with Roger, because he's such a character. I don't know if you've met him much, Mia, but he's larger than life. I had to meet
This,
him first at Harrods,
yeah.
and his PR assistant, and I had to bring my daughter. She was a bit younger. She come along with me for everything, so many things. And she the lady who was Roger's assistant was a little bit surprised. She said, "Did Roger know that your daughter's coming as well?" And I was thinking, uh-oh. But she was really good, because we went to this beautiful restaurant, Sketch,
No.
in London,
Yeah.
and sat there, and he regaled me with wonderful stories, had a lovely lunch. And then I always remember when I kissed him goodbye, and I said, "Wow, Roger, you smell amazing. What is that?" And he said, "Just a little something I knocked up." And I thought, that's typical him. He's a real character.
Yeah.
Another lovely person that I met was Camille Goutal, who is the daughter of Annick Goutal, who is a Paris perfumer. And I went to Paris to meet her, and I remember it was a very early flight. I had to leave home about 3:30 in the morning from
Wow.
Aberdeen. But I
Yeah.
also met, on that same day, I met Serge Lutens, who you'll know of, like Amber Sultan, and This
Yes.
was the first interview Serge had done in about 5 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
he
That's
came over.
amazing.
It was amazing to meet him. I
I
was
can
really quite
imagine.
nervous,
I
but
would be too.
yeah, he was lovely and such a character and so interesting. Some of the things he said about he loved the process of creating, and he loved the thing of he found that hunger gave him the insight to create. I thought that's an unusual thing to
Wow.
say.
I'll
Yeah,
just stop myself and be creative. Interesting.
I know. Uh,
Wow.
But he was a lovely man. He was wearing like a tuxedo, very smart, with the big glasses. And I met him at the place in Paris, and
Yeah.
had to go from like the ground floor, then to second floor, then another little private room, and
Oh,
then I
wow.
sat there waiting for him. So on that one day, I met like two real icons of in my kind of mind of the perfume world. And so it was a real dream
Amazing.
come true in some
Wow.
way to do that book. But it seems a long time ago now, really.
I
Um,
love your book because this book, in as much as it is such a treat to learn with all the information, I love the visuals because I don't know
Thank
if you
you.
knew this, Tessa, but I do love to look at bottles, especially
I
the vintage
know.
bottles.
Yes,
And when I come in here and I'm looking at that, I'm like, wow. And there's
yes,
a whole lot of them in here. It's just amazing looking at all
yes. And that is a
crystals.
very interesting chapter. That lady, Antonia Blanca of
Yeah.
Antonia's Flowers,
Yeah.
because she just started because she had a flower shop in the Hamptons in America, and
Oh,
everyone,
wow.
they come in and they go, I love the smell in your store so much. And someone said, you why don't you should bottle this. And then she did, and it became a huge success in
Amazing.
Barney's, New York, and now all over the world. And
Oh,
she
wow.
was although I never met her, I had quite a few phone calls with her. And I remember that when she emailed me, because you don't often remember emails, but I remember because of the time difference, it was really early in the morning, and it was such a lovely email. And she was so passionate. She wanted to be included in the book. And
Oh, how lovely.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
it was really good to meet all the, because I think the thing with perfume is, well, it's a bit like you and me. We've met, but we've got all these things in common. But the main thing is that we love perfume,
Yes.
But that's what I found with this book, and it was fascinating to see all the people, and find
Amazing.
out what had driven them to do it and how they'd managed to. So yeah,
It's very
yeah,
interesting. I'm very curious, Tessa. From the
yeah.
people you met researching for the book, was there anyone that you had anticipated they'll be like this person, and when you got to meet them, they were totally different, like not what you
Yeah.
were expecting?
Well, I have to say, she's a lovely lady. I've met her a few times
Yeah,
before, but when I went to interview Jo Malone, she
yeah.
was quite kind of distant and guarded.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, I mean, she's done amazing, and her perfumes are, some of the best around the world for sure.
Yeah.
But she was just slightly different from how I'd imagined before when I met her.
All right.
Um,
That's
and
interesting to know.
yeah, but another was interesting though is of the Creed perfume. Like Creed with their
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
and I was quite amazed because they're still a family run house. And
yeah.
I don't know how the son had got my phone number, but he phoned me one morning about 8 in the morning, and he said, Oliver Creed. It says Oliver Creed here. And I'm very glad to be featured in your book. But why am I not on the front cover?
Really? Oh, blunt. How blunt.
Yes,
I love it now.
I know.
Wow.
It was quite amazing. But then again, I wrote the book. I did not choose. I was not able to say, "Oh, you must put this on the cover," or it was the editors and the publisher's decision of what went on the cover. And although they, they're interested in perfume, they didn't have such a kind of crazy passion for it like I do, or many of us do.
I know exactly what you mean, Tessa. There are times I've met someone and I'm thinking this is their field. I'm just there anticipating they're gonna be all over this, and then you get underwhelmed, like,
I know.
You know what I mean? I know what you mean. But it's interesting because I understand now Creed have sold well, they still are in the company, but they've sold part of it, I think, to
it's not family.
I can't remember. Yes. So I just saw a very interesting comment from Proctavia World, and she said maybe Jo Malone has been let down a lot, so she's very guarded now. So that's interesting. And John says, Mr. Creed, clearly need to get a lovely shirt like Roger to be on the front. That's interesting. I've seen another question. Does Tessa watch any fragrance YouTube videos?
I need to watch more. Which should I be watching? Because I love your channel, and I don't know which.
All these people which are in the house here, you can watch their channels. Nigel does amazing, and he has these Friday night lives. But I'm getting all that the times they go on, half the time I'm in bed.
I know. Well,
he does amazing reviews, and he's got a very diverse range of fragrances, lots of niche that you wouldn't have heard of, indie brands. So very interesting. We've got the Centurion, again, amazing guy. We've got Niger is there 2 cents worth, and John is on Instagram. You need to follow John because John does as well.
Yes,
amazing.
I would love to.
We've got Amina in the house, another one. She's so lovely. You should check her out. She's on here and she's on Instagram as well.
And she is in Scotland as well.
Yes. Yes. How nice was that?
We must have a party in
special.
Yeah, that would be great. Proper But it's been to see how the whole niche perfume world has really kind of exploded now. But when I did this book at first, there weren't that many. I mean, I am not the best on Instagram and everything else, but now, because my daughter was even noticing, she's saying there are so many people that have such a great knowledge of perfume there.
Absolutely. Actually, amazing to say that. It's very, very interesting because, as you say, even just compared to now, and say going back even 2 years ago, there's been so many brands that come out, so many reviewers, and I think the internet is done that is really helped that people are collecting a lot more. So
yes, exactly. It's just to another person was very interesting to actually meet. I don't know if you've come across his perfumes much. Francis Kurgian of Maison Francis.
Oh, Maison. I love Maison Francis Kurgian.
Yes, I
love him.
He was so cool.
Tessa, it's my dream that one day I will meet him, and that one day I will meet even Frederick Mao, because I've seen he's also in your book. So those are the kind of people, some of the perfumers. If ever I travel to France, I hope I'll get a chance to meet, or if ever they have something going on in the UK, I have to be there. But please tell us, how was he like?
Francis was lovely, very kind of cool, and I mean, really more like a rock star or something, or like a musician. but very understated. And I think he was wearing maybe trainers or like the jacket. And funnily enough, met him also at this place Sketch. I don't know if it's still going in London, the tea room place
Oh,
near to I think it's just kind of off Oxford Street and Bond Street. And
I know exactly where it is.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
But he was a lovely guy, very nice, and he just didn't really seem like your typical perfume person. More of a, I don't know, but you could tell how much he loved the
yeah,
perfume too. Really very good. But another perfumer, I think I spoke a little bit about him the last time, Lorenzo Villaresi, who has
yes,
the museum, and
yes,
he's a real
Italian.
interesting guy and a real kind of academic, because the reason he got into perfume was because he was studying, I think, in the Middle East, and all the fragrances were around him, and that's
Oh,
how he got so involved. But now he also created all the perfumes for Ortigia, the brand. I think they're still in London and places.
I believe they are. I think even at
Yeah,
Bloomsbury, they are there.
Perfumer. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. But he is a very
we are
intelligent
talking- that's the
perfumer
guy
too.
she's referring to. He's where.
Yes,
God, I can't
yeah,
get the camera right, but he's on
yes.
there.
But we must go to that museum. Hopefully, when you can travel again, we should try and organize a trip, and we're both going to be there in Florence. I would love to take you to it because it's just magical. They
I
have
would
more. Yeah, you'll love it.
I would really love to go. And when I heard his interview and him talk about it and all the things in the museum, I was just like, oh my gosh, I so want to go. I
Yeah.
could picture it. And the way he was describing the place, I was like, I've never even been to Florence. So that
Yes.
would be an amazing opportunity to just go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, it's open again. So, but it's just traveling now. I don't know. It's not really that easy just now, is it?
no, not at the
So,
moment.
yeah.
Okay, we have a question here from John. He
Oh,
said,
actually, very interesting. I did meet a lady in New York who
yeah.
worked very closely with Killian, and
Uh,
she was going to organize us a meeting, but
yeah,
then it was a bit similar. They got bought over or something very soon after this. I don't know. They are still. Are they bought by Estee Lauder as well? Estee seems to own quite a
they
lot.
seem to be, yes, yes, it's the road because
Mhm.
they've taken over Mugla as well. So
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
they're collecting all these brands before you know it. I know they've got Tom Ford as well. I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow,
Oh
what?
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, Bath Killian is beautiful. I love their fragrances. Another one, it was just a little part in the book, James Healy. I love his fragrances. Bubblegum Chic and Le Sel Marine. I don't know
yeah,
if you've come across much of his work, but a very, very, very delicate perfumes. Really
wow,
lovely.
sounds,
Um,
sounds
and
great.
Krigler is another one who I met.
Yeah.
Amazing guy, family business. From his grandfather started it from originally from Germany, then moved to France, and then Ben Krigler. He's quite a young guy, been running the company from New York and France. And I met him in New York at the Plaza Hotel, because the perfumery is like it's a concession in the Plaza Hotel,
Oh,
and
wow.
that was really kind of fairy tale meeting him there. It was really good fun
I
to
can
meet
imagine.
him. And
Wow.
then he came to my later book launch of Hotels of the Stars. I'll need to send you that book to if you get a chance to read it. But he come all the way from France, I think, just for the night, and it
Oh,
was
wow.
amazing to meet him. Real character. Krigler. They made a perfume for Princess Grace of Monaco, and they have a lot of very kind of quite heavily scented florals. You know, the very very nice kind of strong scents,
Oh, wow.
captivating.
Sounds
For,
great. Do you know if
yeah.
they're available commercially? Can we get our hands on these? Because we
I'm
want
not
them
sure.
like
I think Krigler might. I'm not sure if they're in Harrods or they were possibly opening in Burlington Arcade near
Oh, I'll
to
keep an eye out on my next visit. Yeah.
yeah
Can't
Ormond James.
remember seeing them. Maybe I
Yeah,
did, but I don't remember. I'll keep an eye
yeah,
out. Oh,
yes,
great.
yeah. But Angela Flanders, because as we were talking, you were talking earlier about other of my favorite books, but
Yeah.
one of one of the books I love, well, I love is The A to Z of Perfume by Luca
Look at
Turinitani
you.
Sanchez. Great book. But
Yeah.
also Angela wrote this book Aromatics, and it's a history of perfume, and it goes through the all the different kind of perfumes that she's used, and found it was a really really good book to have.
I,
I still have a lot of all the books that I for researching that book,
yeah.
which yeah, but
I think I
the
have that book in my basket waiting somewhere online.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Amazing.
but another from the book as well is Santa Maria Novella, and I
Oh,
spoke a
yeah.
little bit about them before, but they're all their products really are quite, you know, they're just beautiful, from the rose water, the orange water, the potpourri, and they have, I think they have 3 stores now in London. They have one on Piccadilly. Have you ever been to it? I'm sure you'd love it.
I'm just thinking, I can't remember if I've actually been in their store.
Yes, a very tiny, small ones, the ones in London, and there's
Ah,
one in Walton Street. But there's something very special about those perfumes as well, because the perfume house is so old, from established in 1600, and
wow.
by the Benedictine monks. So it has this kind of religious aspect to it as well, and I've become very good friends with a lot of the people from this company now. And funnily enough, the main commercial officer, Gianluca, because his partner, she's Spanish, but she moved to live in Scotland, so he
Oh,
comes over to visit here, and we've
oh,
been over to visit there. And what an amazing friendship, though, just
yeah.
arise from our all our love of perfume. But
Yeah.
yeah, Santa Maria Novella, I would probably say their new rose perfume is one of my top favorites. Really, really delicious scent. But they're very popular with. They're also in the film uh, Silence of the Lambs with
Oh,
I forget that
Anton
actor's name.
Hopkins. Anton Hopkins
Anthony
and
Hopkins, yeah, Anthony Hopkins,
Foster.
and he actually
Yeah.
walks into their store in Florence, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
yeah, because it's
I
got
want to watch it again now.
yeah, I know, and it's
Yeah.
the products are featured in a lot of more recent things like Gossip Girls and that, and they have so many very like well known clients like I don't know Monica Bellucci, Penelope Cruz, Mick Jagger, all these kind of people. But it's the authenticity of that company that really drew me to it, and I just thought this is so special and so
Amazing.
kind
Yeah.
of so much hand created artisan gone into it. So
Yeah.
that was really good. And I don't know if you ever come across Grossmith, the perfume company.
I think I have. I've seen them. I'm trying to remember where I've seen them. I've seen them
Yeah,
around. I
yeah.
think, if I'm not mistaken, they are in Jovoy as well. In
Probably, yes,
Indonesia.
yeah.
I think they have them. I might be mistaken, but I've seen
Very
them around.
interesting, yeah, because they're
Yeah,
quite an elderly couple,
yeah.
and they just got into perfume kind of by chance because the man
Oh,
realized through genealogy search that he was
yeah.
actually related to someone that had who had this very started this very famous perfume company, and
Oh,
then
wow.
they started it again, and it's their scents are so lovely, so different. But I believe
Amazing.
actually Queen Victoria used to wear them, so it's got a great history
Oh,
too.
wow.
But, yeah, that was a very special company. Then Miller Harris, I never actually met
Yeah,
the lady from Miller Harris, but I did speak to her quite a lot on the phone.
yeah.
And but I was a little bit disappointed because I think she said that she just got too many interview requests. But
Oh,
then, yeah, and but I kind of felt like saying, but yeah, for this is for a book. It's not, it's the book's
it's
going to
not
be
just an
around for
open
quite a
interview.
few
Yeah.
years. Yeah, but
Oh,
still,
well.
it was nice, yeah, to speak to her on the phone, and all the other people that I did meet, very, very, very interesting. I mean, florist is such a, oh, that's a lovely question with Mia. Yeah,
No, no, he says apart from me. John, come on.
yeah, yeah. Um, I would, I would love to do, but it's kind of a bit different. But I do love horses, and I'd love to create something that had the same kind of elegance and spirit of a horse, but
Wow.
not in a good scented way. But I love to do something like that because that's certainly been one of my passions of all time. But people, I don't know. Um, maybe there's a lot of maybe like an artist or something, or painter, or yeah, many
Yeah.
talented people out there to create things with and for. But yeah, it's always hard to choose your favorites of things, though, isn't it? And yeah, what's your absolute favorites? But yeah, I must say of Angela Flanders' perfume, I used to really love her. I love lime in fragrance. Yes, I was just going to talk about Floris, the perfumery in Jermyn Street in London, and one of their perfumes that I love is just called Limes, and it is just the essence of lime. And every time I cut a lime to put in a drink or something, I just go, wow, I love that. It's got such an
Refreshing.
incredible scent. So I would love to do something with more lime and yeah, something maybe rose. I love the scent of rose, but it's a very very hard one. Leather
To
and fur. Now that's a great idea.
we also have
Yeah.
hay leather.
Yes,
Keep
because
it
for
away.
me, I was trying to explain this to my daughter the other day of how leather is has such a beautiful smell, and it's
Yeah.
another of those scents from my childhood. Because when I was young, I did
Oh, what's happened, Tessa? Where have you gone? Tessa has left the building. She will be back. I'm not sure what's happened to Tessa. Anyway, jasmine and tuberose are good ingredients too. I was just gonna ask her about some ingredients, so we wait for her to come back. I'm not sure what's happened there, Tessa. Looks like her cam is off. Um, oh dear. Come back, Tessa. We are not done. Tuberose needs to be sort of kind to me. Tessa, can you hear us? I'm gonna try to invite her back. Let's see what happens. Don't leave, everybody. We're still here. Right. Yeah, not paid the electric. Oh, come on. Jen, that just made me laugh. Tessa! With the up north today. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm joking. Yes, so I'm sure she will be back. You had a courage on. Scott, you guys. Anyway, Tony, this reminds me of you, and sometimes when you have a guest on, this happens. Let's see, Tessa. I hope she will come back. Well, as you mentioned it, she's back. She's back.
Oh, so sorry.
Hello, welcome back.
Internet. This is the problems of living in middle of nowhere in north of Scotland. Sometimes we get power cuts, and sometimes the internet just goes. So yeah, we'll need to do the next live, really live, when you actually come to Scotland, Miya.
I hope so that
Please.
I will be able to soon. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
I calling what? It did, John. What was Nigel was asking? Was it the lime? It's called lime, isn't it?
Yes, it's just called limes. Yes,
Limes,
it's a
yeah,
very,
limes,
very
yeah.
classic scent. But
like Fougere.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. But this, I've sampled it in store, I remember.
Yes.
It's a lovely fragrance, very fresh, very alive, very green, obviously.
Very green, totally. But they are another actual family who have, started that wonderful company. And I became very good friends with the lady that worked there. She was the cousin of the like her grandfather had started the company, Polly.
Wow.
And yeah, she very kindly invited me to her wedding a few years ago. It was amazing in Cambridge.
Lovely.
But I was quite surprised because I thought it would be like florist scents everywhere. But it was actually diptyque. So, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Are you sure she didn't offend the family?
I know, yeah. It was a really beautiful wedding, though. I'm still in touch with her every now and again, and she's not working in the perfume house. She's doing some other thing, but there is a lovely family, very nice people, and yeah, from Mallorca originally. I think Flores, the company, come from, but yeah, as I said, these wonderful kind of friendships that arose because of that book and everything else. Very, very interesting times.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah. But that store in Jermyn Street, I think hasn't really changed. It's so it's got such the table across the front was from the great exhibition in the 1920s or something. It's the whole decor of it is so impressive that you really feel you're in a very kind of well-established place, but still it's got so much character, which I guess is classic.
Yes, they do have those original, the oak table.
Yes, yeah.
Exactly. I've been to the back as well in their museum.
Yes.
So I've seen everything. They have all the notes on the fragrances they've created.
They're very nice.
Yeah,
but they're not patronizing like some perfume places I found when I went in there, and you feel a bit like you're not really feeling that welcome to look around and everything. But I found they were very, very welcoming.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to do with my fragrance, is to create something that everyone can enjoy. And so I didn't really go hugely all out on creating, like, because with the packaging it can be very expensive, and then you're
Absolutely.
actually paying for mostly a box.
Packaging. Exactly.
So
Totally get
I've tried to keep my perfumes within a kind of uh, a good price range, and everybody deserves it. Do you know what I mean? So uh,
absolutely.
I've found it's good to be able to just have a little spray of something to kind of just to match your mood or uplift you at these times, as well,
Yeah.
especially at these times. Some days I find I just spray so much perfume on, but I think that's something to do with the kind of whole living in a pandemic and everything. You need you
Yes.
need some extra inspiration. But yes, that's true. I love penhaligons as well. Their Bluebell perfume was one of the first perfumes
Yeah.
that, because I have to say, a lot of my perfume love and everything comes from all the perfumes my mom used to wear. And she Mitsuko was one that she wore by Guerlain, and I always loved that one. But then Bluebell by Penhaligons, and it's just so like bluebells.
It is.
Really.
It really actually smells like you're walking in the
In the
bluebells.
woods, yes,
Up it somewhere. Yeah. I
yeah,
love that. And yes, I love Penhaligons. They're always very accommodating, very inviting when you go to their store. Like
yeah,
they're so helpful. They go out of their way to help you. So
yes,
I love
yeah,
that. Um,
yeah, yeah,
I'm looking at the comments. I've seen a few people come in. I'm just gonna say hello to Isaac. Hi, Isaac. We've got Olga in the
yeah.
house, the perfume days. We've got Valivon. I saw Valivon. So, hi, everyone. Thank you for
Mm.
tuning in. So, we are talking to Tessa Williams. She's written a book there called Perfumes. And as well, she's a perfumer. She's got, is it 2, 4, 6, 7 fragrances in the
7.
collection
Yes,
now? Yes, she's
yes,
got
yeah,
7 fragrances in the collection.
yeah.
Got yeah, I'm looking. So quite a few fragrances in your collection, and they're all different from one another. I love you've got
Yes,
floral,
yes,
very nice, refreshing. You've got some a bit more depth, like fire. I love fire. You
yes,
must know by now. And
yeah.
I'm doing review on all of them, and we've got Hope,
Oh, thank
Love,
you.
and
Yeah,
Earth. Oh wow, wow.
yes,
This again is another one which I think men would really enjoy. Like richly, a first sniff
yes,
is sandalwood. It's gorgeous. I love this. So I think
yes.
these are gonna be. I think when I do the review, I may even rate them to see which ones are the top. um,
Yeah,
so
marvelous. But
so
it's interesting, though, that what you were saying earlier about the book, Mia, and the
yes,
people that you would like to interview, because they are totally, they are, Frederick Malle and
yeah,
Francis Kurkdjian as well. They were certainly in the absolute top dream
I can
team for me.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow, I can
yeah,
imagine it. I personally would love to meet Francis Kajan because I think he's an
yeah.
amazing guy. And every time I hear him speak, he's always very passionate. And I remember he was having a live with Harrods. And obviously, lots of people
Okay.
were asking questions, and I asked a question. He didn't obviously have the chance to answer it. But a few days later, after the live, and I've gone and forgotten about it, I get an email back from Harold saying,
Oh,
"Oh, Mason answered your question. He personally replied, and this is what he had to say, etc." I was like,
oh,
okay.
lovely. Yeah.
What time is
That's
dinner then?"
really wonderful. Yeah. It
Yeah,
just shows you that,
enjoyed
because if someone is passionate about what they do, then it comes across, and they want to deal with everyone who's also interested.
Yeah,
in what they do as well. But
absolutely.
yeah, it was quite hard with that book to kind of to know because there was so many more perfume houses that I did want to include, but there just there wasn't the space for all of them. But at the end,
Yeah.
there are like smaller features on the companies, the newer niche companies as well, like Nasamato,
Oh,
Juliet Has a Gun, by Redo, which has become very successful.
they
Eccentric
have. Yeah.
Molecules. Do you
Oh,
like that one?
oh yes. If I'm honest, I've never really bought a bottle of theirs, but every time I'm out, if I see it, I do try and spray it. And I remember
A
just
lot of people wear it.
a couple
Yeah.
of weeks ago, I was in Javoy. I was like, I can't smell anything.
I know you can't.
I
You
put
can't.
it there. I'm
You
like,
can't.
I can't smell anything. I'm like, I'm not convinced. I don't know. I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
convinced. So I've
I know
never
it's
been
like,
moved,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
to buy them
It
for some
doesn't
reason.
you're right though, because it doesn't really have a scent of anything. But
Yeah,
it was interesting because I told you I was meeting my mom at the
yeah,
weekend. I was out with my mom and my daughter yesterday,
yeah,
and we were sitting outside in a restaurant. And how in this small tiny village, she
yeah,
sat beside this lady, and before we were a bit late, she'd
yeah.
already asked the lady what perfume she was wearing. The
Oh
lady
wow.
was wearing Byredo, and
Oh wow.
then my mom told her, oh, that my daughter, she writes about perfume, she has her own perfume. And then the lady then, she wanted to, I had just had some Love perfume with me. I said, you can try, you can smell it. Then
Yeah,
I didn't even have a card or anything with my website. I wrote down my name. Half
yeah.
an hour later, she was buying Love. She's like, I love this perfume. And I just, that is so amazing. In
Oh
a
lovely.
tiny village,
Yeah,
just west of Glasgow. But
yeah.
everywhere, people love perfume. And she just happened to
Absolutely.
sit beside, yeah, my mom, and she was
Even-
wearing Byredo, Gypsy Water, and Eccentric Molecules. And
Oh
then
wow.
she smelled love. Just, I let her spray it all over her scarf, and then she just bought it. Like,
Oh,
I
oh
looked at
lovely.
it was amazing,
Absolutely. I think
unusual.
it must be the most satisfying thing when people love your creation.
Magical,
Yes.
because it's just like we're appreciating something together. It's like we love this idea of this feeling, and we can capture it somehow. So I was elated. I
I,
was really
I
it
would be
was
too.
it was really,
Anyway, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, Dawn. Thank you. Yeah, well, my mom, she's quite a character. She always wears like big hats, and she does love her perfumes, but I think she loses a lot of things these days. She doesn't know where things are, so probably happens to us all. But
Eventually,
yeah,
yeah. Oh wow.
certainly she gave me the love for perfumes. I'm sure like your daughters will inherit your
Yeah.
daughter Jessica, she love for perfumes.
Oh, she
Yeah,
does. She does. And this is her
yeah.
favorite game to play. She'll go and spray something and comes. Mommy, smell this. What am I wearing?
Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
actually they do that in the when I did this event in the scent bar in Los Angeles,
yeah.
and it's called the sniffing game, and they put it all around on like a test card, and then you're blindfolded and you have to guess what it is. So your daughter obviously streets ahead, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's another place you must go to visit on your tours of perfume. I'm
I
sure you
hope
love
so
it.
someday. I hope so someday. But ideally, I want to go to Grass Fest.
Yes, yes.
Love
Well,
to go to Grass. That's
yeah,
where I want to. You know,
I know. I
I
used
would
to live
love to
near
go.
there. Yeah,
Oh
it's
wow.
such a in between Cannes and Nice, in a little bit of a place called Juan Le Pan. And
Oh,
yeah, I used to love to go there to Grasse. It's really wonderful place,
I think
and
I
I'm
would
sure
love,
it's scented. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
We need to go on a tour.
Hopefully soon. I was going to ask Tessa, for people watching that are
Yeah,
interested in your book, because
yeah,
for anyone interested in buying Tessa's fragrances, we have a discount code. So fabmaya 30, and it will
yeah.
get money off. But my question is the discount extended to the book?
Yes, it is.
You
Sure.
had it.
It's
So if
over.
you wanted to, you could
Yeah,
get the book. Anyone interested, I'm gonna write the code here, so you can use this code across Tessa's website for books, for home
for candles,
fragrances, for
perfume.
candles,
Yeah.
and yeah. So that will get you
And if
money off.
somebody wants it signed, or if they would like it for, you know, for
Special
a
presents.
friend or birthday or anything, any special inscription, anything they would like to have it signed, can do
Oh
that.
wow, Tessa, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I might
Yeah. Well, thank
that.
you.
I
So
might
great to,
get something signed. Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
We've
Lovely.
got Sam in the house. My world of fragrance. Hi, Sam. Good evening. Yeah,
Hmm.
very knowledgeable ladies in the house.
Hmm.
My
Oh,
advice, but I never listen to myself. Try before you. Yes, Niger is
oh,
saying
thank you so
try before
much.
you try, but never listens to himself. Yes, Niger, that is me all the time. I tell myself, "Oh, try before you buy," and when the time comes, I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna try this."
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Right,
Yeah.
Tessa, I've got a question which I wanted to ask you, because this may not be true or may be true, because I'm not aware of many perfumers coming out of Scotland. So,
Okay.
how easy or how hard has it been for you as a perfumer, a self taught perfumer out of Scotland, where it's not really known for fragrances? Because I
Yeah.
think,
Well, thank you. Yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting point. But as I said, I have kind of always been fascinated by perfume all my life. I lived in the south of France, so I was kind of near to Grasse then. But
yeah,
I reckon as well, because Scotland is such a small country, that if you are doing something like perfume, which is very bespoke anyway, it's kind of people want to help you more because it's something different. So I
absolutely.
found,
I can imagine.
yeah, in a way that it is something I'm very proud to be from Scotland. Although sometimes it's hard for just being a bit too isolated and to be able to get to other places, but um, you can have calls like this and speak to
Yeah,
people. It would be, yeah, it would be great just to be able to visit Paris or things in shorter times, but
absolutely.
gradually we get there. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. About to say last night. I was gonna ask another question now that you say that. What do you think are some of the pros and cons of obviously being a female perfumer in Scotland? And I know you've said this, obviously being from a small place, it can be
Yeah.
an advantage, but as you just touched on, it would be nice as well if you were more central. And another question I wanted to ask was, do you have your fragrances in any shops other than on your website? Where can people get your fragrances other than your website?
Well, that one shop in LA, the Lucky Scent, the scent the scent bar in Los Angeles. They have the candles there. I
Oh,
have as well in some hotels in Scotland. They have my fragrances there. In Verlochie Castle Hotel, there's a shop in London that has the fragrances as well.
oh, which
In
one?
Haverstock Hill, it's a kind of boutique store there, Joyce Young Collections.
Oh,
And
wow.
the thing is, though, so many places have been closed for the past 4 months. So many places have been closed. So it's really more online at the moment. But I would like to have in more stores as well. So hopefully soon.
Absolutely.
But
Yes.
yeah,
With that said, one thing I was thinking, obviously, with the COVID situation, things are kind of shifting. We are now seeing more transactions happening online, and this, I think,
yeah,
doesn't only extend as far as fragrances, but a lot of other things, because we've seen
yes,
how the high street is struggling, lots of shops closing down. So I feel like moving forward, online is where the future is. So I think
yeah,
it's a matter of getting your presence out there, people to know about your fragrances. Because, like I've always said, if we don't know that your fragrances exist, we are not going to have the chance to sample them. So
yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yes, yeah.
I'm curious.
Well, it's good to be able to have the samples now, and I do have the samples. So that is a good way if people, before they kind of commit to bigger fragrance, and they can try in
Absolutely.
a sample size.
Yes, yes. Or they
Yeah.
can get the whole collection. They
Yes.
have a sample set. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And how much
Yeah.
would a sample set be for the 7 fragrances?
For the 7 fragrance, yeah, I think it's reduced now, and it was 25, but it's £20 for all 7. So
Okay.
hopefully
I'm gonna,
that will, yeah, that will
yeah,
give a kind of insight into them. And
absolutely. Because then people would try, and everyone can find something they like. And I'm sure
yeah,
everyone
and
will.
something for the man in their life or the lady in their life, or yeah, that's
There is definitely something for everyone here. And like I said, I feel like fire, earth, they are more masculine. But
yeah,
I would say that this is probably the more masculine. But then you've got other florals and others which are very citrusy, lime, and those
yes,
can be
yeah,
enjoyed by both sexes. So, and
yes,
certain
yeah,
samples for £20, that is a good offer, I would say. And
yeah.
just for
Thank you.
everyone watching, I was just gonna say it's a plug. Um, there is a discount code, and you get, is it 30% off? 30%
Yes,
off. You get
yes,
30% off. And by the way, these fragrances are very affordable. So the original price on the bottles are 29.95, isn't it? Twenty
yes,
nine
that's
ninety
right.
five.
Yeah,
So take
yeah.
30% off, and you get a good fragrance. And I sampled one
Mm.
of the fragrances. I can't remember which one, and I thought this fragrance reminded me, or it's got elements. It's almost like in a similar vein to the one I've got, City of Jasmine. It's quite
Okay.
lime, very nice, fresh. And I thought that fragrance is around about £200. So if you're going to pay
Mhm.
£30 or under,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if there be any other great bargains than that. So I would
yes. Quick
jump on
before I adjust the
it.
prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's really good, good value. Yeah, do take a look, Tony. I would love to know what you think. Anyone who tries them, I would love to hear your thoughts on them. Okay,
Yeah.
Tessa, how are you doing? Are you okay for me to ask another question?
Yeah. I'm just getting a bit because I've been driving back from Edinburgh, and I've got to go and sort stuff in about 5 minutes. But yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, I won't hold you for too long. I have
Okay.
just two
Thank
last
you.
questions, and then
Mm.
we can call it a day. So,
We need to do another one.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This question I've actually asked, but anyway, I have still a question to ask you. Give me a moment. I'm looking at my list of questions that I
Yes.
had. Um,
No, we must do another time when it got more time. And if you have a chance to, I would love to do that because you're
Absolutely.
so knowledgeable about perfumes, Miya. And
Well,
it's so
thank you.
wonderful
Learning
to
every day, every single day.
yeah, but
Um,
you appreciate them, and you can you can find all the kind of subtle points in the perfumes, and I really I really love that to speak to somebody that's really taken the time
yeah.
to look into them. So thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. My last
Okay.
question, Tessa, was what advice would you give to someone
Okay. Yeah.
thinking about starting their
Yes.
own
That's a
fragrance?
good question. Yes. Okay. My advice is go for it. Whatever is your idea,
Yeah,
develop it. Don't tell everybody about it straight away, but
yeah,
do what you love, what is your passion. It might be based around your family or someone you love or a place you visited
yeah,
or a time in your life. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own perfume story. And
absolutely.
you keep that and you work on it and you just you do it, and it might just be one perfume idea at first, or it might be like a collection of 10, but just go for it and start experimenting with different scents and seeing how you can come to do something that really transfigures your idea, because that's what it is. And we always need more fragrances. We need more perfumes. So
Absolutely. Keep stay
yes,
creative, keep creating. Are you working on any
yes,
fragrances to come out soon?
yes. I am actually. I'm working on one which is a little bit around the idea of a rose, a Scottish rose. So I will love to let you know how it goes, and you must be the first to try it and tell me what you make of it. And yeah,
Fantastic. That's
it'll be
brilliant. Tessa,
fun.
before you go, because when you said that, it reminded me of another question I wanted to ask. I'll make it quick. What
Yeah,
is what
sure.
is most what note or what ingredient have you found hard to work with, and if any, which one is your favorite to work with? What would that be?
Well, I love the tuberose. I love the scent of tuberose. It's very kind of raw, almost kind of carnal scent, and I love the effect of that with another, like with the jasmine. I love this kind of scent, and I love the kind of orris root too. I love these
Yeah,
scents. I think rose is quite a hard one to make
to make.
different and interesting because it can be a bit prosaic, but yeah, I would love to do something that kind of expresses the natural, the kind of the summer of Scotland with the rose. That's
Oh,
my idea at the moment.
amazing.
So fingers crossed.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for sharing that with us. I certainly
Thank
look
you.
forward to it. So,
Thank you. And I
um,
hope to come to I hope you will come and visit me soon. And
I I
we
hope
do one for you. But till then, I hope we can talk again soon, please, if you have a
absolutely.
chance.
Thank you so much, Tessa, for joining us. Have a
Thank
lovely
you.
evening, and I hope
Okay.
you get some
Thank
rest.
you.
Take
You
care.
too. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
now. Right. So there we have it. There we have it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, which was the lime one. Lovely ladies. I'm on the website now. The lime one. The hop is very lime, very much. It's very green. Tony, I'm gonna send you some information about them, and you will see exactly which ones. Thanks for your time. Thank you so much. Yes, Tessa, isn't she lovely? She's so lovely. She's so calm. She's just enchanting. People like her I would love to sit down and just have a chat with, and just chat and listen to all this information about her travels, etc. And obviously, her being a journalist, she's seen quite a lot around the world where she's traveled, be it for fragrances or for writing books, etc. So, yeah, and thank you so much for watching. I shall see you soon. Actually, yeah, no. I shall see you soon. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Take care.